White? But not heavy enough to have body parts in it.
He says he killed his wife. I got him out of my car.
Alright, and did he put up a fight when you asked him to get out?
He's like, man, I don't want to go to prison. Don't take me back there.
His wife walked into that camper thinking it was just another road trip with her husband.
Her whole body's backed up. Describe that to me. I cut her body and put it in multiple bags.
What she didn't know was that he had already crossed a line he was never coming back from.
What was the plan with Emily's body? I didn't really have a plan. I was just gonna take it into the woods and drop it off.
There's large trash bags here.
White?
Welcome back to the channel. If you want more cases where the truth hides behind someone pretending to be harmless, just like him, hit subscribe and stay with me. This one is only the beginning. On October 19th, 2021 at 12:03 a.m., a man in Vermont called 911.
Vermont 911, where is your emergency?
Yes, my name is Spencer Lemons.
Spencer had very disturbing news to share with the authorities about his friend.
Like he said, I did something really bad. I said, what did you do?
Joseph Ferlazzo confessed to him while they were on their way home.
He says he killed his wife. I got him out of my car.
Alright, and did he put up a fight when you asked him to get out?
No, he was like, he's like, man, I don't want to go to prison. Don't take me back there. I said, I did, and then he just started getting fidgety, and I don't know if he's got anything on him. I mean, yes, I am armed, but I'm not looking at any confrontation, so I'll just get out of my car.
Okay.
He's walking on 36, it's just before Woodland Ave, over Fairfield Hill, like maybe a minute out of town.
Police searched everywhere, but Joseph Ferlazzo was just gone. When cops started digging, they quickly realized something. The man from 2009 wasn't the same Joseph they were hunting now. That was Joseph Ferlazzo Sr. The one on the run now was his son, Joseph Ferlazzo Jr. Once police sorted out the mix-up, they published a press release. A few hours later, Sergeant Amy Nolan stopped at a convenience store. While she was grabbing her things, she spotted a guy in a hoodie, head down, walking up with an energy drink. Something about the face made her look twice. Then it clicked. She recognized him instantly, and that's when Sergeant Nolan confronted him.
And what did you say to him?
I said, Joseph, it's you, right? Are you okay?
Okay. And what did he do in reply?
He took his drink down and his body language sort of deflated. And he said, no, I'm not okay.
She arrested him, and he was brought to the station.
All right. So, Joe, is it fair to say that you have an idea of what we want to talk about?
Yeah.
All right. Can you?
I'm here to talk to you. Like, you don't have to beat around the bush.
Okay.
I'm sure you already talked to Spencer. I f***ed up. Plain and simple.
He already figured Spencer had talked, so denying anything didn't make sense anymore.
Plain and simple. Like, I had a fucking last. And it's something that I can't undo. So here we are.
All right. Well, why don't we, I think what would be helpful for me is just have you start from the beginning of what happened and start from the beginning.
So here's where the story really begins, with 41-year-old tattoo artist Joseph Ferlazzo and 22-year-old registered nurse Emily Ferlazzo.
You and Emily are married, correct? When did you guys get married?
October.
Of this year? Like this October?
No, it's we just celebrated a year in October.
Okay.
The two of them packed up and left their place in New Hampshire, excited to take off in their freshly renovated camper van. It was supposed to be their little getaway, a way to celebrate 1 full year of being married.
So I came to Vermont. I was living in New Hampshire for like the last 2 months with my wife and her family. And I came to Vermont. We were supposed to have like a weekend away, big vacation, do some camping, like have some fun.
Earlier in 2021, the couple brought their camper back to New Hampshire. Most of the time, the van just stayed parked on Emily's parents' property while they lived there on their yard. Her parents helped with the renovations, and honestly, they were relieved to have Emily close. She was only 22, and her new husband was 20 years older, so they liked being able to keep an eye on things. But then the couple left on a road trip.
The drive there was fantastic. Like, we're singing along to the radio together. We're talking about how we're gonna like start our trip and go meet the rest of my family.
By the morning of Saturday, October 16th, 2021, just one day into what was supposed to be a sweet anniversary trip, everything went quiet. Emily's phone stopped responding. She wasn't answering anyone. And her family and friends, they didn't hear a single thing from her.
Where were you headed? My sister was like Airbnb, so I was like using an opportunity to like spend time with my family. Okay.
Joe had plenty of ties in Burlington and the towns around it. Friends, family, people who knew him well.
This was going to be an opportunity for Emily to meet some of my family.
His sister ran an Airbnb there, so when he called her, she didn't think twice. She told him to swing by. Joseph showed up at the place, slipped inside, and took a shower in her Airbnb while the camper sat parked right outside.
The following morning, I had some breakfast with my sister. I had some coffee and some breakfast with her. Tell me about that. I had some coffee and some breakfast with my sister. In the Airbnb? The coffee was in the Airbnb, and then we ran down the street for some breakfast. Okay.
And when she asked him how things were going with Emily, because he was on his anniversary trip with his new wife, he said Emily was fine, just sleeping in, resting in the camper. Everything was good, according to him.
Did they ask where she was when you went out to breakfast? What did you say? She's still sleeping. Okay.
But Emily wasn't sleeping, not even close. Joseph claimed that almost as soon as they rolled into Vermont that Friday night, the very start of their trip, the two of them had a huge argument.
As soon as I put the vehicle in park, like, my wife went completely berserk, like completely psychotic. And I shot her.
The detective wanted to lock down the timeline.
So you arrived between 7 and 8, and what time did the shooting happen approximately? Maybe like 1.
That was all he was willing to share for now, so the detective gently pushed him to keep going.
Where did that happen? Bolton, Vermont. Okay.
It happened out in the far reaches of Vermont, the kind of spot surrounded by nothing but trees, hills, and quiet back roads.
When did that happen? Saturday. Do you know about what time?
The plan was simple. Enjoy a little getaway right in the middle of peak autumn. It was supposed to feel calm, cozy, and kind of romantic.
Got some stuff to drink, trying to like listen to music. I was trying to put some candles on, have some wine.
Joseph tried to make the trip feel as romantic as he could for his young wife, but things flipped fast. The candles he had set up so carefully in their little home on wheels ended up getting tossed around by Emily, and the melted wax hit him as she threw them.
Throwing the candles around, telling me to put them out, turn the music on. Just being like forceful and aggressive with me. And it just turned to like punching and kicking and just a lot of hurtful things. I can't even remember.
She hit him hard, emotionally, and even a little physically. After the fight, Emily stormed off and laid on the bed to cool down, while Joseph just sat there, letting it all simmer.
I don't even know. I just know that I sat down and it was something inside my head. Just I remember feeling really warm, and I remember feeling blurry, and I don't know. Something inside me said enough is enough.
Joseph completely lost it. He just jumped up and grabbed his gun from the cabinet, while Emily lay on the bed, clueless about what he was reaching for.
What did you shoot her with? A pistol. Okay, do you know what kind of pistol? It was a Glock pistol. A Glock? Whose Glock is it? It's my Glock. Okay. Where is the Glock now?
It's in the bus.
It's in the bus?
The gun wasn't the only thing left behind in the camper. There was something even more shocking waiting for the detectives, but that part comes later, so stay tuned.
She had
stopped fighting, and she'd gone and laid down. And I went and jumped on top of her, and I shot her.
How many times?
He got up, grabbed his pistol, and climbed onto the bed. He pressed a pillow over her head and fired twice. The shots hit so close that both 9mm rounds went through the pillow and straight through her skull. She didn't stand a chance.
He jumped onto the bed. He put his throw pillow over her face, and he shot her once and twice, directly into the left side of her head.
Afterwards, Joseph grabbed a plastic trash bag from the camper's kitchen cabinet and tied it around her neck, trying to slow the bleeding.
What kind of bag? Like a trash bag. Okay. Are those still in the bus? Okay.
It was cold and calculated, like he knew exactly what he was doing. Joseph then dragged her body into the tiny bathroom of the camper.
Was it obvious that she was deceased?
Yes.
Okay. And why did you move her to the bathroom?
I was trying to clean the blood from the things that are in there.
Okay.
So what would a normal person do after something like that? Not what Joseph did. He went to lunch with his sister and her boyfriend. During the lunch, his sister asked if he could do a little tattoo for her. Without a second thought, without an ounce of guilt, he agreed. After lunch, they headed to a tattoo parlor, and Joe did the tattoo on his sister.
Oh, yeah, my sister. I told my sister I would do a new tattoo for her.
Okay.
So I do a new tattoo for my sister, and then we go get some food, and then I go home and fall asleep.
After the tattoo, he had dinner with his sister. Now, even her sister was suspicious. Where is Emily? She can't still be sleeping in the camper. So he told her she took an Uber and went back to her parents. Her sister knew they both fight a lot, so she believed him. After that, she left with her boyfriend, and Joseph headed back to his home.
Where's home?
I just went back to the vehicle.
And that was still parked at Sarah and Jason's? So Saturday, did you spend the night in the vehicle parked at Sarah and Jason's?
Yes, Joseph slept in the camper, the same camper where Emily was stuffed in the bathroom.
This whole time, is Emily still in the bathroom on the bus? You're shaking your head, yes?
Yes, sir, yes.
Okay.
The next morning, he got up and drove the camper to another city, St. Albans, where one of his friends lived. He parked it in their driveway, with Emily still inside, and he ended up having dinner with them. So, with his sister, he said Emily had been asleep the whole time he was there. But when his friend asked the same question, "Where's Emily?" his answer was a bit different. Joseph knew the lies wouldn't hold forever. People would start asking questions about Emily. He knew he needed a cover-up story.
Where did you drive to New Hampshire?
Motorcycle.
He rode over to Emily's parents' place. Emily's parents asked him where she was. He seemed to be having a great time, but what about the person he was supposed to be on vacation with? That's when Joseph told them he didn't know. Emily's parents were suspicious, and understandably so. First, Joseph had told his sister that Emily was fine, back in the van, sleeping. Now, he was telling his in-laws that she had stormed off, and who knows where. Naturally, they weren't convinced. They called the police right away, and a bolo for Emily went out fast. Everyone started searching for her immediately. Emily was born when her mom, Adrienne, was still a freshman in college. Over the years, she went from being an only child to growing up with 5 brothers around her. Emily was caring from a young age, and that nature eventually led her to become a nurse. She became a registered nursing assistant and landed a job at a general hospital in Laconia, New Hampshire. For a few months, she worked as a licensed nursing assistant at the University of Vermont Medical Center. In July 2020, Emily moved from her parents' home in New Hampshire to Essex Junction, Vermont. That's where she met Joseph Ferlazzo. It wasn't even a date. Emily was just helping a friend who wanted to learn how to pierce, which led her to the piercing and tattoo shop where Joseph worked. They needed a brave volunteer for Emily's friend to practice ear piercing on.
But yeah, her friend was trying to learn. So I said, call a friend in.
Emily stepped up to the occasion.
She pierced her ear and I pierced her nose.
Emily was into piercings and tattoos. Not long after, she wanted a tattoo and ran into Joseph again.
Trying to get a tattoo and Emily wanted to get a tattoo, so they came. They got some artwork.
It gets even wilder. They had only been dating 4 months before tying the knot, after a whirlwind romance.
I don't know, she asked me to marry her, and it was like maybe like 3 weeks. We started seeing each other and like hanging out a lot. It was wrong.
Emily's parents were suspicious from the start. Her mom especially felt that the older man in her daughter's life was way too controlling. Her mother later told the police that yes, there had been domestic violence in their relationship.
Has there ever been any domestic violence or, physical abuse or anything between the two of you?
Again, same kind of thing, like, it starts off, like, with her just, like, looking through my phone, and then she'll walk right up to you and just punch you in the side of your eyeball.
Is it because she didn't, and what was the reason behind her looking at your phone?
She was, like, just trying to, like, see, like, read all my texts and who I was talking to.
Gotcha.
What he didn't tell the cops was that it wasn't just Emily hitting him. He hit her too, so much that Emily started showing bruises all over, trying to fight off a much bigger man.
He had, and she did have on her body injuries that she wouldn't have had otherwise, so.
After reading the report, the cops knew Joseph had a violent past and was capable of hurting Emily. He became the prime suspect in Emily's case, but like Emily, he had completely disappeared. What the cops didn't know was that he was actually hiding at a friend's house. He had driven back to Jason and Sarah's, picked up the camper, and then headed to Spencer's house.
Is there another friend in the area that you go to at some point this weekend?
I saw Spencer.
Spencer.
Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah, I think you mentioned him earlier.
Yeah,
He parked the camper at Spencer's house. Spencer hadn't seen him in a long time, so he took Joseph, his wife, and the kids out to eat. Joseph really just wanted to stay home, but he couldn't say no. He had to go out in public with them. Now, he was paranoid the cops would spot him. Every time a patrol car passed, he'd try to duck or hide. It was so obvious that on the drive back, Spencer finally asked him what was going on and why he was acting like that.
What did you tell him?
I told him that I killed her.
Okay. Did you tell him how you killed her?
No.
Okay.
He was like, where's that? I said, she's on the bus. He said, is she living on the bus? And I said, no, she's dead.
That's when Spencer realized the truth. The killer was sitting right there in the car with him, his wife and kids in the back seat, while the victim was in his own backyard. Spencer told him to get out and called the cops immediately.
And he said that his wife is inside that box. And I said, is she alive? And she goes, no, I don't want to live with this. Just get out of my car right now and call the cops.
And did he put up a fight when you asked to get out?
No, he was like, he just started getting fidgety, and I don't know if he got anything on him. Because I got a family and wife and kids, I don't need this crap around me.
Joseph was picked up at a convenience store soon after. Now sitting in the interrogation room, he said he killed her because Emily had told him she'd had enough and wanted out of the marriage.
This place, like, this is pathetic, you're pathetic, like, I can't stand it, like, I'm getting the out of here, I'm so done. And then it was just that, and more of that, and more of that. Every time I open my mouth to, like, try something, anything, just more of, like, I can't do this, I'm not doing this, like.
For Emily, the breaking point came when she found out Joseph was cheating on her, all while obsessing over who she might be seeing, making her leave work early and following her around town. Yet, he was free to hang out with his ex-wife whenever he wanted.
She hit me in my sides, in my arms, in my chest, I think my neck. And she kicked me in my groin with her heel.
After the fight, Emily stormed off and lay on the bed to cool down, while Joseph just sat there, stewing.
How much time passed between when she went to lay in bed and to when you got the Glock out? Would you have to put a time period on that?
I would say between 10 and 15 minutes.
By now, the detectives knew Emily's body was still in the camper while they were talking to him. But they had no idea what he planned to do next, how he was even supposed to get rid of it.
What was the plan with Emily's body?
I didn't really have a plan. I was just gonna take it into the woods and drop it off.
Turns out he did have a plan, and he'd already started putting it into motion. A plan straight out of a horror movie.
You put the bag over Emily's head. Did you just put it over her head or her whole body in the bag?
Now her body's backed up.
Her whole body's backed up. Describe that to me.
I cut her body and put it in multiple bags.
Joseph went back to the camper and moved it to a secluded spot. It was then he hacked her into smaller pieces. After the interview, the police tracked down the camper at Spencer's place, and soon they started finding Emily's remains in the bathroom. And then they found several guns tucked away in a corner. Joseph said there wasn't just one pistol in the camper. There were two.
Are there any other firearms in there?
Yes.
Okay. What other guns are there?
There's like one other small pistol.
The Glock belonged to him, and the smaller pistol belonged to Emily.
Does Emily have a cell phone?
Yeah.
Do you know where that is?
No.
Have you seen it since you shot her?
Yeah. I tossed a couple things in a bag and I threw the bag away.
Okay.
So it's probably in that bag.
But that bag was never found when the cops searched the camper. Joseph admitted he had thrown Emily's phone, purse, shoes, and a few other belongings into a trash can at a gas station. The police weren't able to recover any of it. Joseph was facing first-degree premeditated murder charges, and with such a clear confession, everyone assumed the case would end quickly with a guilty plea. But Joseph, in January 2023, to everyone's surprise, he entered a plea of not guilty. He was held without bond in the county jail while the case moved forward. His actual trial didn't start until December 2024. By the time of the trial, Joseph's story had completely changed. In his initial confession, he admitted he snapped and shot her, almost like he was unloading his guilt. Back then, he didn't get time to think. He was in shock. It was raw remorse for killing his wife. Now, he had 2 years to concoct a new story. He still admitted to shooting Emily, but now it was self-defense.
So I was climbing over her, and she shouted, off. And she threw an elbow at me, and elbowed me in my groin.
Did that hurt?
Yeah, it hurt. It was right to my genitals.
Did you say anything when she said "f off"?
I didn't say anything when she said "f off." I got hit in the groin, and I said, "No more hitting." So we had a bunch of throw pillows that we lined around the bed, the top of the bed where we slept. So one of the throw pillows was right there, and I swatted her with the throw pillow, and I said, "Stop hitting." That's when it happened.
What happened?
She said, "That's it. You're dead." And she threw her arm under her pillow, and she pulls her hand out with the Taurus. And
How were you feeling?
I was feeling horrified.
Were you afraid?
I was terrified. There was as soon as I saw that, I just felt this wave of heat, just red hot. and she started like pushing her body up in an instant, and I'm like, no, 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 no. And like, I don't know, like she wasn't stopping. And I was holding my Glock, and she started just like coming up at me, and I just fired.
Why?
She was gonna shoot me.
What he didn't get is that when you start making up stories, you leave holes. And that's exactly what happened here. He claimed she pulled the gun first, but he also admitted he was holding his gun. Usually, whoever pulls the gun first has the advantage. But in this case, she supposedly went first, and she's the one who ended up dead. Doesn't really add up, does it?
What did you do next?
I sat with her body, and I touched her hair, I touched her back, and I talked to her.
What started out as cold and calculated has now turned into something almost naive and harmless concern of a scared husband.
I lifted her up again, and I was inspecting her, and I just saw like a lot of blood like coming out of her head, and I was like, oh my god, like, so I went and I had some plastic bags, so I went and opened a plastic bag, and I put it under her head so she would, I didn't know how much blood was gonna come out, so.
He said the reason he didn't tell this before is because somehow his memories of the traumatic event just shoved itself in a corner to reappear 2 weeks after the first police interview.
My memories came to me sometime after the event. I was detained by the police, and I was put into a cell, and I want to say it was like at some point, maybe like, I'm estimating, like a week or 2 weeks, probably closer to 2 weeks later.
And again, when you make up stories, you end up leaving holes in it, and the prosecution made sure the jury saw through his act and focus on the facts.
Pillow in a garbage bag.
Yes.
And you put the red throw pillow in a garbage bag. Yes?
Yes.
You flip the mattress over.
Yes.
He claimed he had no memories of talking to the detectives. He didn't remember it, and whatever he said there was probably not correct. He never regained the memories of stabbing her multiple times. The jury deliberated for just 2 hours before reaching a verdict. After hearing all the testimony, they found Joseph guilty.
I will announce the sentence of the court at this time. The sentence of the court on the conviction for first-degree murder will be 42 and a half years to life to serve.
Joseph Ferlazzo will spend the next 42 and a half years in prison without the possibility of parole. In the end, even though the verdict won't bring her back, it finally put her voice back in the room, louder than his excuses ever were. Thanks for watching. If you want more deep dives into cases where the truth fights its way to the surface, like Emily Ferlazzo's, make sure you stick around. There's more ahead.